And guys, we have some big news coming out of this week and a little bit of last week, which was Live Golf and PGA merging together.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, Saudi's just taking over entertainment, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they're literally trying to do everything. They've taken over a lot with the WWE. They've done a lot with boxing. A lot of big boxing matches have been happening there. They got Ronaldo, gave him a fat bag. They tried to get Messi, well, but 1.6 just wasn't enough, I guess.
No, and I think the thing with that was also like they realized a lot of people are switching to like renewable energy and
100%.
oil is like in the future gonna be in less demand. So they're really trying to capitalize as much as possible. And then another thing, like, you know, obviously in relation to that, like Messi going to Miami and turning down Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
that was a huge blow to them,
And that's
right?
honestly
I
one
can't
of, like,
believe
the
that.
biggest sports like deals that's made in recent years. That's a huge
Yeah.
him dropping such a big bag and coming to the U.S.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's like a passion project for him, honestly, at this
It's
point.
just it's just showing that he can't just be bought out by any price. You know,
Like
He actually-
Ronaldo.
Like Ronaldo straight up just got bought out. Like,
Yeah.
straight-
No, but Ronaldo made the right move. Because he's on the way down.
Well, yeah, no,
So rather ball out, beat everybody.
Way down
if
is a little bit of an
Ronaldo
understatement,
didn't-
man. He's
Yeah,
still maybe not at his peak, but he's still one of the top players. In the country.
I'm
And
telling
still
you,
can compete at the highest level.
I don't think so. There's a reason no one wanted him. For the amount of money that he would need, no one wants him because he's not worth that much money anymore.
He wasn't gonna take 400 million at like a big club though,
No, I'm telling you, no big club was offering him a contract.
like at all.
I don't think so, or at least one
Wow.
that he would consider, because the price that he was wanting was too much.
I mean,
Yeah.
regardless,
Otherwise, he would have considered something. I don't think
prob-
anyone offered him a contract.
he's probably also a trophy player
Yeah.
for Saudi. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah, and like also like Messi, like not only did he get like the contract he got, he turned down $1.6 billion,
That is
and he
insane.
turned down going back to Barcelona because he didn't want to upset the living standards and the salaries of the current Barcelona players because they would have had to take less for him to come, and so that kind of shows like his personality and how he was going. But like the thing with him not coming to Saudi kind of shows two things, right? One, I wouldn't say he's not running from competition because he left the European leagues, but he's also not going to a completely like terrible league. He's going to the MLS, right? Like that's better than the Saudi Arabia.
It's better than the Saudi.
Exactly.
League,
So
yeah.
like I
It's
get
better
that
than the
part,
Saudi League.
but like let's like break it down, right? Like he's getting profits from Apple's revenue of streaming MLS games. He's getting Adidas revenue, I think, from jersey sales, and he's getting part ownership in the team, just like Beckham.
No. So it's not part ownership in the team he's playing for. It's once he's done, because
He gets to choose one team.
One
because a
team.
current player is
Stake
not allowed to have
To
stake
own.
in a team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's once he's done, he's then allowed to go and buy
Okay,
a team,
and
like how David Beckham did.
So I was about
Yeah.
to go to that, which was exactly what David Beckham did. I think he got like a 20 million stake in Inter Miami
Yeah.
as an expansion team. And I think honestly it's a good investment, but I think like in my opinion, like turning down $1.6 billion, like I don't think those shares will ever reach to a point where it's 1.
I
Here's
don't
the
think it
thing,
will.
it
I don't think it
won't.
will.
I don't think it will either. But that's not the point. Like him going for that, dude. When you're that rich, like
Yeah,
for
you
him
don't-
also,
yeah.
I don't think he's that type of person where he like
Yeah,
1.6 means
yeah.
no more than what he already owns.
Uh-huh.
He's already
Yeah.
able to live as lavishly as he needs to.
Yeah.
1.6 is not doing anything for him.
Yeah.
And so I think the thing for him now is like at least now he's not going to be playing for some stupid team in Saudi that he doesn't want to be playing for, and he's going to really enjoy his life, even if he's not playing for like a European league that he would possibly want to.
And I think I don't know if Rishi said this or Ari, but like his quality of living, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that matters a lot, right? And I think that was a great point. The fact that like in Saudi your quality of living is not as good as like Miami.
I mean,
Not
it's
necessarily.
arguable.
Not necessarily.
Dude, Saudi's
There's a lot of nice places in Saudi.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. There's
But
a
I'm
very
saying
nice
socially,
areas.
it's social.
The
I know
people,
he's a guy. I
people
know
in
he's a guy, not a
Saudi
female,
are.
but like
There's also people who go to Saudi tend to say like the people are very welcoming. They're very hospitable. They're very nice. There's obviously issues in Saudi, but generally in the right areas, there are very nice people, very accommodating. And for someone like him, he wouldn't have to worry about the issues that are there. So
Yeah.
he could live a pretty well
But it's
life.
not just
I
him,
think it's
his
just
family,
culturally
too.
very different, and I don't think
Yeah.
he would want
I
to
don't
move
think
his
it's
family
that.
over
I don't
there.
think
Yeah,
like,
I think there's also like the possibility just because Ronaldo went there first. Why does he want to be? He wants to be the face of whatever league.
Yeah,
he's in.
that's true.
He doesn't
That's
want to
true.
have to have
Yeah.
his name. If he loses to Ronaldo on the front of every page, World Cup winner, best player in the country, loses to Ronaldo in the Saudi league, right? The Saudi league is going to get all this unwanted attention just when Messi and Ronaldo play, but he won't be getting as much attention as he will playing it in the MLS.
That's true.
well,
That's true.
here's the other thing. I think that like if he's playing in Saudi's league, he gets his $1.6 billion fat check, and then what happens when he retires? Then he just gets to live his life. But here, what he's doing with like MLS means that he can continue like really like working for like the rest. Even if
he wants to be involved.
He wants to be involved. It's like a passion project for him in the sense that even once he leaves soccer, he isn't leaving soccer overall. He's not gonna keep playing.
And
anymore.
and off-field stuff, right? Like in Miami, one of the richest real estates, right? Like he can buy a lot of things. He can start like I know like Gerard Piqué, right? He has his own restaurant in Miami. Like a lot of players, even tennis players like Nadal, he has a restaurant in Miami. Like a lot of these people have a lot of equity in Miami, and he's probably trying to be the next person.
Yeah, I'm sure when he's in his 60s, 70s, and he isn't able to play soccer anymore, he'd much rather be like.
That's how long it's gonna take.
Not
for
the
him
50s.
That's how long it's gonna take for him to get
like,
out of soccer.
Once he's fully out, at least he'll have some say if he owns part of us. Once he owns
5 years max.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's out in like
No, I don't think even that because I don't want him to play in the next World Cup.
He said he's not playing in the next World Cup.
Oh, so he's less than 5. So
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
4.
So he'll play
4
till the
years.
next World Cup, and that's it.
And then he's
Unless he just doesn't play in the World Cup and will play like.
No, I mean no. If you're playing, you're gonna want to play.
No.
It's a big possibility that he
I would
plays.
not want him to play in the World
Neither
Cup.
would I. But I'm saying if he's still playing at a high level, he would naturally. You're gonna. Everyone would want him to play, even though.
Him
Yeah,
and
that's
Ronaldo,
true.
I'm pretty sure both said that they don't plan on playing another
They
game.
can't.
Ronaldo.
I mean, Ronaldo
Now
can't anymore.
Neymar can go ahead now, man. Neymar's my guy.
Shadows for years, but
I think
Next World Cup is Brazil, man. I'm telling you. Next is Brazil.
Hopefully.
It's their time.
I think another thing to think about is like PGA and Live or Live, right?
Live.
Yeah. And the way that it kind of happened, which was like, I feel really bad for a lot of the players that defended the PGA and a lot of the players who were like, no, like we don't like Live because of the human rights violations and all of that, because of the fact that, like, for example, Rory McIlroy and all these other players, they have to kind of eat their words now because now they're part of this huge corporation, and the details of this new corporation is where it's a new entity, but Saudi Arabia controls that. Like, they invested all their money into that, so they essentially took over PGA. It wasn't a merger, it was an acquisition. There's a difference, right? And like now they're gonna kind of control it and how they want to run it, and like, okay, players are gonna get paid more, but like, in my opinion, the way the Saudis operate, I think people who stuck with Live are going to get paid a lot more. There's going to be partiality between them and people who defended the PGA when they initially were split.
There definitely will be. I'm actually really interested to see what they do with this. Like, is it now going to be played in Saudi? The whole tour is going to be played in Saudi?
No, it can't. And there's no shot because prestigious championships like Augusta, U.S. Open, and especially America is one of the best golf courses in the entire world. There's no way they're not
That's why the
capitalized.
PGA, in my mind, is such an American thing.
100%.
Like, which is why I
don't think the
really
Saudis even
can't
have the
imagine it.
capability to like.
No, they do, man.
okay.
You see how they built
I'm sorry,
10 World Cup stadiums and then took them down the next day?
They have the
Like,
capability.
they
to
can
make
do
them,
it.
but
They
it's
can
just
do it.
like, what would be the point of that?
Yeah.
Like,
Point
they're
is
gonna do it.
That they can construct like the largest golf course ever. Whatever, they can literally do whatever they want because they have practically an unlimited pool of money and resources at their
It's such a weirdly like utopian dystopian like mix up. It's such a I don't know. The entire country is just so interesting in the fact that they can do whatever they want.
What's happening?
Rishi's mic's been off this whole time.
No way.
Yeah, it's been off.
It's okay. All right,
That's so
I'm sure
funny.
I think it got picked up. Well,
It's alright, guys.
going back to what I was saying.
It's okay. We value your opinions.
I don't value yours.
Wow. Okay. What you say?
I'm sorry. I had to.
That took so long to do.
That was not a proper
You, you need like a handheld button next time.
Yeah.
Just come recorded, yeah.
Okay, well,
Like
okay, I
the
was
ticker.
going,
Yeah, like the.
like
I feel like I have it next.
okay, going back to what I was saying. Saudi's just such a utopian / dystopian like place because they're able to do whatever they want. And this conversation was like, where'd it go?
Where'd it go?
You had it last, bro.
Alright, whatever.
Johnny, where did
I
my
actually
forget
don't
about
know.
it.
where did my
Anyways,
buzzer go?
going back,
I
going
don't
back.
know. I would have called Saudi a utopian society,
dude,
man.
okay,
Like,
Utopia and dystopia.
If you really think about it, they're also aren't they also planning on making a giant city in like
you
the
okay?
10-mile city or whatever?
I get what you mean. Like, you think like they're trying to become like how Dubai is seen as like a
Yeah.
perfect place, I guess.
I mean, in all
Is the
regards,
Burj
it's
Khalifa
like-
in Dubai?
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
Dubai. Actually, I don't know if that was
It is
Dubai.
Dubai.
was
How about-
it
how about
Dubai?
those
But
man-made
it was
islands?
Also,
That's Dubai.
That's Dubai too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a lot of these big cities and countries and like they just have so much money that like
Yeah.
I mean some people believe that the richest person isn't actually someone like it's not gonna be the
No,
current richest person.
it's-
No, the richest person is Putin.
Yeah, I was about to say
Putin is
that.
the richest
Putin
person.
is the richest.
Yeah.
And actually, that's debatable because it might be one of the Saudi kings.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
what I'm saying.
maybe
A lot
actually,
of
yeah,
they
people-
they
that's
don't
true,
because
true.
they don't they're not required to disclose their wealth,
Yeah,
and neither is
yeah,
Putin,
same as
right?
Putin,
So
yeah.
like, who
And
knows?
That's true.
the fact
Yeah.
they own so much land that land will also have oil. That oil has value.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into that, and like
I think Perma's like right with the reason for all of this is because everyone's trying to move away from oil. And also the Middle East has kind of a, on the world scale, not as great of an image compared to other countries. I think they're trying to change that. And so
Yeah.
that's why you see so many things happening in the Middle East now in terms of entertainment. Like the World Cup was in Qatar, and that was one of the best World Cups, and probably the best World Cup.
Yeah.
for
Like,
sure.
and that just helps them. It changes their image so much. And yeah, they're obviously in the construction of all those stadiums with how fast they had
about
to
to say
build
that,
them.
yeah.
There was a lot of problems. There were people who got injured. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure,
Died.
died building that. But guess what? People didn't care. People like, it's sad,
Yeah.
but people didn't focus on it. You know, I was bringing that up like when I was talking to my dad about the World Cup, and he was like, but no one's gonna care. Like, this was such a good World Cup. They did such a good job putting on the show that everyone's just gonna forget about it.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, it's crazy how like insane Americans are as consumers, because like the NFL is literally the highest grossing of any of the sports franchises, and it's only Americans who watch it. Really, like, think about it.
No, do you think
Soccer
they
is
make
played,
more
like-
money than like Premier League?
It is. It's a fact.
It is,
Oh,
the
yeah.
NFL is the
okay,
highest
okay.
like grossing franchise.
Wow.
Like, which is crazy because the Premier League is watched around the entire world.
Yeah.
You know, and yet still one country's able to beat it all out. Yeah, you have like a few scragglers, like random countries watching it, but come on,
Yeah.
man. It's not like
No,
soccer
but
where everyone watches
I also
it.
think like compared to the NFL, the NBA's globalization has
Oh,
really
Yeah,
taken-
NBA's been growing a
and not
lot.
only
Yeah.
that, it's like now it's getting kind of worried in the sense that like the last 5 MVPs were international players.
Yes, sir.
Right, Giannis, Embiid, Jokic.
Love to see it.
Current NBA champion and Finals MVP Jokic was also right.
My goat.
And like the thing with that is like it's kind of bad because all these Americans.
Wow,
now,
wow. Why is it bad, man?
it's bad. I'll tell you why.
These immigrants taking our job, man. Is that why you're
We
upset?
were the immigrants. So like the Americans are at a certain point of privilege where they think that if they're really good at basketball, they'll just go into the league without thinking that there's people internationally who are working even harder than them. There's a lot of Americans right now. Perfect example, Mikey Williams, bro. Right? This guy was so good, so talented. He got arrested for like assault or something.
Yeah.
And like he's constantly just like worried more about how many views he gets on social media than actually grinding on his
It's
game.
American culture. I'm telling you, the immigrant mindset will always be different, man.
And another thing is
yeah.
like this AAU system, right? Right now the AAU system is where like if you're not getting enough minutes, there's no culture of like sticking it out and working your way up.
Right.
Oh, I'll just join another team.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I'll become a starter.
Which sucks.
Like,
That's so stupid.
that's so bad.
Yeah.
That's not going to develop you into a good professional, a good mature player, right? How many times is like I've seen videos of Bradley Beal, LeBron James talking about how like teammates have to sacrifice. You're not always going to be a LeBron. You're not always going to play the leading role, right? They're not understanding that. And they don't have that chip on their shoulder that international players have, which is I want to prove to Americans that I can be better than them and I could work as hard.
Okay,
I
but
don't
wait,
think
wait,
it's crazy. I don't think it's something that's gonna ruin like.
No, but see,
bad.
what's bad about this? I don't see what's
Yeah.
bad.
The thing that's bad is
That's
that,
not the fault of the immigrant players that these people aren't working
What
hard
I mean by
enough.
bad is that like
What was the
it's-
bad side of that?
What I'm saying is like it's good because international players are holding Americans accountable.
Yeah.
Problem is now Americans aren't like it's just an issue in the sense that like American like basketball players at a youth level are not developing as well or as good as international players are, even though they have better resources.
That has been
That's
immigrants
not-
for the past
Yeah. I
know.
hundreds of years.
But I'm
in
just talking in a
human
basketball sense.
Right, but that's
especially.
not because of immigrants. So that
No,
that's
it's
what I'm
not.
saying. Yeah, but
It's not.
you were saying that the opening up and having more players come here is not.
Oh, I never. No.
You were
no,
saying
no.
that's bad.
No,
for
no,
us.
no, it's not bad. That's not what I said. What I said was it's bad of how Americans are entitled and thinking that they'll
Oh,
just
okay.
get in because like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's just it's funny how exactly it translates to just regular
Life,
jobs
regular
also.
life,
Like, the
exactly.
immigrant mindset, man, it's always
actually,
up there.
When you say it's bad, it actually is bad in economic mindset. Think about the NFL.
Yeah,
Why do you think the
yeah.
NFL makes so much money? There's
It's
no
all
overseas
Americans.
competition.
All Americans.
No
yeah.
overseas
Oh, I see what you're
competition.
saying. Yep.
Yeah.
You have people like you have like generations of players coming from their dads, the Mannings.
Yep.
Right, the
Yeah.
Mannings.
But
the
they're all
Brady,
good. They're all good.
They're all creating this foundation in the NFL as well, which is like bringing in all this big money because your big superstars are going to be the ones who bring in the most money
Right.
into your team because they're going to be the ones who are generating the most hype around them. So I don't know.
But I don't. Okay, so that's something I disagree with you on, which is NFL, the reason every week is so important is one, obviously they have way less games than the NBA. Two, the way they market it is not based on player. It's based on the event and the team itself. It's a very collective sport, right? With the NBA, it's very much like how you like. I'll put it this way, right?
Is it a collective sport?
What?
Why is it that every time the team plays the Chiefs, they make a good play, Patrick Mahomes is still the one getting the headlines on every
Let me finish.
social
Let me
media
finish with what I'm
outlet?
saying. Let me finish with what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying is NBA. There's so many more fans in the NBA who are like, I'm a LeBron fan, I'm a KD fan, rather than I'm a Thunder fan or I'm a Heat fan or I'm a Cavs fan.
Basketball is more
yeah,
individualized
basketball,
from the
yeah.
fan side. From the
And
fan
it makes a
side.
lot more
Oh,
sense
for
because
sure.
if you think about like football, right? You're wearing a helmet. It's not as more marketable. Like for NBA, one player can change the entire course of a game. Football, you cannot do that.
that's-
Quarterback is the most
Depends on a
influential,
position. Depends
but
on
like
a position.
even in general, like a quarterback could score 42 points, but if their defense sucks and they let up 49, they lose.
Yeah,
I don't think that's even like. I think that's like almost a fact at this point.
it is.
You
No,
have
it is, yeah.
people are not fans of players in
the NFL.
in the NFL as
Yeah.
much as they are teams. In
Yeah.
the NBA, people are less so fans of teams as they are players.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, I love the Warriors," but that's not because they love the Warriors. It's because they love Steph, or
Yep.
it's like something like
Right.
that.
For the
Like
most part,
okay,
yeah.
you're
I'm a huge
yeah.
Lakers fan. Nah, I just love LeBron. Like that's
Exactly.
Okay, no, well,
Like-
Lakers might be a little bit.
Lakers is
different, but,
kind of different,
to an
but
extent,
it depends.
Ben.
Yeah,
see,
I
see,
don't
you're
think
you're a Patriots fan. You love Brady. When Brady went to the Bucks, you didn't become a Bucks fan. You
But no,
stayed Patriots.
But that's the thing. I've always been a Patriots fan, but during the playoffs, who did I root for? I rooted for the Bucks because I'm a
Right,
Tom
right,
Brady
right.
fan.
That's not
That's
your
different.
primary-
But you didn't change your team. People in basketball would change their
Yeah.
team.
No, and
depending
I
on
understand
players.
that,
Like when
but-
LeBron goes to a different team, I change my team to that.
Yeah.
I understand that,
You know.
but it works the same way with publicity and advertisement, right? Advertisement publicity is surrounded by one player. Take Tim Tebow, for example. Probably one of the best collegiate athletes we've seen in a while. But was he NFL already? We don't know. But still, he generated so much press and so much coverage over his time playing in the NFL. Like, it didn't matter. He was at the top of all headlines. And it's the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Now, even though Patrick Mahomes is an NFL superstar, he cultivates all the top headlines in the NFL. I'm telling you, wait for the season to come. They're all generated around
No, 100%.
this play
100%,
one
yeah.
player made, right? What about DeAndre Hopkins' catch? That whole time, it wasn't them winning in the last second. Every single media outlet looked for DeAndre Hopkins' catch
Yeah, but
over
you're
three
not.
people.
Okay, Mahomes is different. He's a quarterback, because
Quarterbacks
have a
will
lot more
always
influential,
get-
Always are gonna
But
get, like,
if D Hop goes to a
limelight.
different team and you're a Texans fan, you're not changing your team. Or like if you went from the Texans to the Cardinals, not many Texans fans.
Think about,
change their
I'm
mind.
a Giants fan. I'll never change that. Even though my favorite player in the NFL is not a Giants player.
I think another proof of concept, or like proof
No,
of that
I'm not
concept
saying
is
that. I'm not saying that. I understand that the NBA is more focused on players,
Yeah.
but it's, you can't say that the NFL is also not just almost up there with them
No,
focusing
no,
on
no, no.
players.
It is
It's-
focused on players, but nowhere near
Nowhere
as
near,
much.
bro.
I
Not
I
at
think
all. Are
it
you
is
kidding?
it is shifting, and that's just a general shift where people now, like younger kids, will not have as much attachment to teams and football. Also, I think, but
Maybe.
I think that's just a general shift happening right now where people are starting
But
to
it's also
gravitate more
very
towards
radical.
players.
The reason for
And-
that is this.
when you
Fantasy football is one of the biggest reasons
Yeah.
why people are focusing on these spell things.
Yeah.
A
Individual
lot of
players, yeah,
people,
sure.
a lot of people. I know one of my friends. He drafts his fantasy football team. He becomes instantly the fan of
Yeah.
whatever, like most players he has.
But that's also because he doesn't have probably doesn't have a.
No, he does. He's all right, I'll straight up right. He's a Ravens fan. All right? Biggest Lamar fan you ever seen in your life. But he drafted 3 Raiders players on his fantasy football team, and he did nothing but watch the Raiders all season. I don't think I saw him. I don't think I saw him watch a Ravens game all season. Not once.
I think that's
He
a
watched
small group
all
of people. I
Raiders.
don't think that's a lot.
It's a large group of people if you think
no,
about it.
I think it's
Fantasy
because-
has changed the game.
Fantasy
Maybe,
has
but
changed.
you have to admit the NBA there's levels to it. NBA is so much higher in
is.
terms
No,
of
here,
player
here's another
empowerment
thing
than team
that, like,
empowerment.
But I
When
think
you-
it's wrong to count out the NFL. The NFL is right
We're
up
not.
there.
We're
They're
not.
not
But
up
it's
there.
not.
They're
It's
not up
not
there.
with
They're
the
not.
NBA.
Right
It is
now.
not
No,
with the
no,
NBA.
I'm not talking like here and here. I'm talking here and here. Is what I'm trying to say. They're
yeah, yeah.
That's more like it. That's more.
That makes more sense.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but they're not all the way down here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
on-
yeah, we're not saying it doesn't
focused
exist.
It's
on-
Yeah,
increasing, I will say.
Yeah,
but
it is.
look at the way NBA, like NBA players get their shoes. NBA players get like an NBA
Yeah.
player's
Yeah,
jersey.
That's a great
Yeah, that's a
so
great
much more-
point. Yeah.
What football player do you see making marketing deals with big like sports clothing companies for their own line of clothes?
Mahomes doesn't have his own line of clothes.
No, they
Brady
don't have their
doesn't.
own kind of clothes.
But it's
Brady
not,
does.
Yeah, but, okay, how often do you see those lines of clothes being like
Their jersey
important?
sales do well enough that they.
That's
don't
the
have
thing,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, but
that's the
jersey
thing.
sales
No,
don't
no,
follow
no,
the
no, no,
player
no.
as
It-
much as they follow the
it's-
team too, though. If you think about it, if you're a Giants
Nah.
fan and you buy, okay, you're a Patriots fan. If you have a Brady jersey, would you wear that Brady jersey to like a game where or you'd wear it to a Patriots game?
If
you're
it's
not
the only
wearing
one I
that
have.
jersey.
Basically, because I only have a Gronk jersey right now, right? Because
Oh,
it's
you
the
have
only
a
one I
Gronk.
have.
Okay.
So it's the only one I wear to games. But if you give me a Mac Jones jersey, why would I not wear the jersey of the player who's currently playing on that team?
Not only that, he would also
But would you wear a Mac Jones jersey?
Rishi would also like he might actually buy a Tom Brady Bucks jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he
yeah,
would.
Okay, but that's because
That's
okay.
fine,
I'm saying he loves. It works in that direction, but I don't think it works in the other. Say you love like. Okay, say you were a Bucks fan, right? Would you wear a Patriots Brady jersey to a Bucks game?
Honestly, some people
Yeah,
have.
no, there's
because
so many
they're Brady
people who have,
fans.
bro.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
That's
Yeah.
those people
Brady.
who
Those
yeah.
are
Right,
so many
Okay,
people who love Brady
Brady's
fans.
also a quarterback, and he's one of the select few. Like quarterbacks, yeah, I understand. They're the most individualistic players
Yeah.
on an NFL team.
because they have the most control. Over
Basketball, you have 5 people on a team.
Yeah.
Every player is individualistic.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
with this pure content on like fast social media, it's become a player.
Exactly.
for
That's
sure.
what I was literally about to say.
Because the old people
Yeah.
are so condensed around a team because there was a sense of camaraderie when
Loyalty.
you were
Yeah.
like we won a game, you know.
Yeah.
100%.
We
Dude,
are
literally,
the
when,
winners.
when we went to the Giants... Oh, wait, did any of you...
I'm a Pats fan, so
You didn't go,
I
right?
don't go.
Okay, so when we went to that Giants game, right, we were sitting in, like, the seats were actually really nice.
Yeah.
But we were surrounded by season ticket holders. I can't tell you how nice it was seeing them all interact because they don't know each other, but they all know each other now because of the
Because of the
season
game,
tickets.
yeah.
Like, there's literally, like, these old guys talking to these young people in the back, like, meeting his girlfriend. They're like, hey, I wanted to introduce you to these guys. Like, they all know each other now because of the season tickets.
Yeah.
And that's just
That's-
so
that's
sick,
nice.
that kind of
Yeah,
community
yeah.
you form with it, man.
Well, yeah, I think what you're saying with social media is a huge thing because before the advent of like you scrolling through TikTok, you would see, headlines, Giants won this game, blah blah blah, whatever. But now you'll still see that, but now you also see like plays that like specific players are making.
Yeah.
Whereas in basketball, you'd see the same thing, but you'd see like, this player made this shot. Like it's much more one-on-one, but now you're seeing that with football too because you can watch the play happen on your phone.
Not even that. With social media, you also feel more attached to the person because now instead of just seeing a play, you actually get to see that person talk. You see them have their own podcast.
Separately, yeah.
You see them talk
It's
on
not
their
only
own.
that, though.
You get to interact with people way
Yeah,
more
they
from
have
social
and
media.
like when you're like you're following their account, you see their personal.
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly,
they're
but there's also a
used.
big difference. Remember that we're always talking about how NBA is more player related, up
It
here,
is.
versus the NFL. But you also have to realize how the game is played.
No,
How
that's
much does
exactly
it
why
take-
it is.
how
That's
much
why
does
it
take
is
to
like
score a point in the NFL. You need a whole team effort. You
No,
need
but-
your lineman blocking, your receivers
Right.
running
Yeah,
large
exactly.
routes,
It's a lot harder,
quarterbacks
yeah.
throwing balls.
That's
Based on
exactly
harder.
why. That's
But
exactly why
that's
it
why
is.
I'm saying, dude, because of that difference, the NFL still being that player focused, that's why I put them on par with the NBA because they're still trying to push out these player profiles while the whole game is based off team effort.
Dude,
but that,
they-
Yeah,
no,
if you want to compare,
no,
hear me out.
I
Hear
can-
me out. Hear me out. Statistically, yes, they do focus more on the players. But if you think about it from an
Like,
outside
in
perspective,
relation-
in relation, just because it's more of a team sport and they still push player profiles so much compared to the NBA, where
Can I
it's
be super honest? I have the best rebuttal for that. No, they don't. They push 3 players and they're all quarterbacks. They don't,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay.
All these superstars, bro. Look at like the top 5 players in the NBA that they market, all different positions, right? NFL, it's literally just the quarterback. It's Mahomes, and
but it's
Rodgers
not.
and Brady.
It's not.
Really?
Every single
quar-
week,
name-
the top scoring leader. Are they show Instagram is always showing every single best play from every week of
I'm
NFL
saying marketing.
football.
You're telling me Saquon Barkley gets more advertising, dude. Daniel Jones got a contract before Saquon, bro. Okay, Saquon does not get as much.
That's for
endorsement.
very different
I know,
reasons.
but just listen to what I'm
This is
saying.
a little bit of
Just listen to what I'm saying.
extremes.
Saquon does not get as much advertising as Daniel Jones.
That is not true at
Contracts and
all.
advertising are
What are you
also two
talking
huge
about?
things.
If Daniel Jones was as good as Saquon, you think Saquon would get?
What did you just say? If he was as good, he's not. Saquon's better, so Saquon gets more
Okay,
advertising.
fine. You think Saquon gets more than, let's
Yes,
say,
dude.
a really good quarterback?
Yes,
he doesn't.
No, that's not the
Well,
point we're
because
trying to
the
make.
quarterbacks are
Quarterback
really
is
good.
better.
I want you to
But that's the
understand-
point I'm making. I'm saying that quarterbacks, they're the only ones being focused and
Yeah, we're
pushed out.
not
That's the 2 and
disagreeing with
3.
you, but you're
No,
saying
you're-
it's
not
based on the
true.
team also. They're not going to
Yeah.
market 5 people from one team. They're going to choose the standout player. On the Giants, who's the standout player? It's Saquon, so they market Saquon over
They
Daniel
still-
Jones.
There's so many more
On the-
quarterbacks.
on-
There's so many more
They
quarterbacks.
That's
still
true. Of
post
course
Penn
there is.
State
Of course there is, because
highlights.
that's
All
their
the time on
standout
Instagram.
player.
You guys know like that one famous run? They post that maybe 25 times a year. And at Penn State, one famous run where he
Yeah, I
cuts
know
through a
what you're
talking
million
about.
defenders. They still, I saw it yesterday. The NFL's not even going on right now, and they're still posting Saquon Barkley content.
I mean, that's
But
like
that's
he's the face of the Giants.
okay.
bro.
I think regardless, at the end of the day, if you're
Yeah,
looking at
that's
it
just-
relatively, like you were saying, you can say that NFL is pretty good at like still hosting like player individuality where you will see people be fans of players, but it's nothing. It pales in comparison currently, at least.
Yeah.
I think it's changing a
I'll
lot right
agree
now.
with you. Like it's growing. They have a presence, but
It's right now, it's nothing compared to the NBA. The NBA is so player focused,
it's not compared.
even overseas.
And
You
you
see-
outlined it perfectly. It's just the nature of the game. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing about
It's
that.
literally built into it. Like,
But
there's
I
nothing you can
still
do.
have the argument saying that just because statistically it is more because of how the game is played, it does not mean, if you think about it rationally, because NFL is a team game, they pushing out the player profiles. They've been doing it so much over the last like 3-4 years just because of how much Instagram, TikTok, and all of that's grown. Comparatively, just because they're both not played the same way, I'd say they're about almost the same level now.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Then you're comparing apples and oranges.
But
Comparing
yeah.
apples and oranges.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like a different comparison. But I think overall, focusing on the players is a big change that's been happening, and I think it's going to continue to happen, especially with a lot of like fantasy, like football teams. For basketball, it's the same thing, and so you just have that change.